Hi, it's me, Vamp, and this is going to be a different kind of podcast. This is going to be more of me ranting, trying to, I guess, spread some awareness per se of stuff that has been happening lately, which I do not really like. Usually this is a Warframe, mostly Warframe podcast. So I guess I should mention that there's some events out on Warframe right now. Go to my YouTube channel, Warframe Madness, to find out more details. But this episode, I mostly want to, like I said, it's a different kind of episode. It's podcast episode thingy. It's not going to be super long. It's, if anything, it's going to be like a mini episode type thing. It's still going to be an episode, but smaller. Anyway, okay. So, privacy, okay? That had been going around a lot lately, I'm one, I like to think I totally respect boundaries, privacy. If someone said they don't want to share such and such, that's fine. But then again, I don't even ask for such and such because that's fully fine. Some people don't want to, give their personal information. I mentioned this because, okay, luckily this hasn't happened to me personally. Well, it kind of happened once, but it's a bit different. But anyway, this happened to just recently a fellow content creator. That happened to not too long ago. Well, apparently, that a random guy or so messaged them, started talking to them, asking for personal information, pretending they didn't know what certain words meant, because this person, she's a very nice person, she's not one to say, go screw yourself or anything like that. So, she said stuff in a calm manner, and he kept asking, oh, what did that mean? I think he truly knew what those words meant, and, was just trying to get more conversation, more talk time. I don't understand how that works because I'm not in that mindset of a person who tried to get someone else's personal information. Now, that person, I'm not going to release their name because, okay, first of all, the biggest reason why I don't like releasing names, for two reasons. One, because I don't know if it's fully allowed most places. Usually releasing someone's name might be frowned upon a bit. And anyway, it's not like I have like the biggest reach in the universe anyway. But also, if I do get like a super big reach, I don't necessarily want to, start a thing where this person is getting praised somehow by other fellow people who like to do the same thing. Because like I said, I can't get into that mindset. It's very hard for me too. I don't understand. Do they think like they own a part of that person, or do they think they're entitled to know everything about that person? Do they have like some weird fantasy involving that person? I mean, the third one is actually fine. It's perfectly fine. Okay? Having a fantasy involving an online person themselves, initially it's fine. Most people would say pretty harmless. Whatever you think about, um, whatever is your own business. But it's when you take it too far and it drifts into real life and you sort of believe that fake fantasy type thing that you put in your head, that you believe they're your girlfriend, boyfriend, soulmate, and try to act upon it and get their personal information and meet up with them in real life and whatnot. Now, the thing is, like I said, I personally cannot see why someone would do that. But apparently, people do that. And what sucks is since we live in the era of social media and stuff, it's super easy for people to randomly do it. And then, if you try to get like the police involved or something involved, either A, they do nothing because it's an online blah blah blah, you can't prove that they were serious, blah blah blah. Or B, they just delete their account and make a new one or block you or something like that. And furthermore, whenever something tragic happens, like, people die as a result of this, or some scam gets shown off or something, that just shows the people that want to do this, oh, this is how I go about doing it, and this is how I get away with it. And yeah, I'll be honest right now, talking about this, not entirely sure if I'm going to fully upload this yet, but at the same time, I do want to do my part to try to spread awareness, try to, I don't know, I guess how to be safe or internet safety or internet privacy. Okay, well, anyway, safety tips, I guess I'll call this episode, which I guess I should provide some safety tips, which I guess safety tip number one would be not to give out your personal information unless you are entirely sure that you can trust that person. And oh yeah, and I guess I should also mention extending to emails if you receive like emails that you from addresses you don't recognize, but they say they're such and such, right? They say they're like some company or that you're a part of, or some friend that you've known for a long time or something. If they say they're a friend, try calling that friend up on the phone. If they say they're a company, try, if you have that company, which you should if you're have any kind of relations with them at all, try just emailing the email address that to make sure before give out your personal information in an email. Just simple things like that. I even know some people who go as far as they don't like giving their real name or their address, not address, or, by the way, kids, you shouldn't do that, especially, if you're going to an email, make sure that, like I said, it's legit on the up and up. But anyway, also, even their age. I know some people who don't like giving their age because the birth year, that's a whole other thing involved for stuff. Because believe it or not, there are certain things that you might be careful not to give out. You may think it's an irrelevant little thing, but people can actually use stuff like that to get access to willy-nilly or search you up on like some map site or whatnot. So, just be safe, okay? Rather safe than sorry. And this is to, no matter what gender, male, female, whatever gender you are, this can actually happen to anyone, okay? I just want to keep that in mind, just in case, there are some guys out there listening that are like, oh, this only happens to women. I don't have to worry about some guy stalking me and pretending like I'm their boyfriend. First of all, I mean, who to say? I mean, it's their own fantasy mind. So even if you aren't into males or something, in their weird fantasy, you could be. It could be something like, oh, you're normally into males, but they're the exception. Some weird fantasy like that. And I mean, it could also be a woman doing it as well. It's not always like, a full, easy, cut and dry case. It could also be like a jealous boyfriend or girlfriend that they're jealous that you're hanging out, watching videos or streams or whatever. I'm using that example as a content creator, but this applies to everyone on the internet, whether you're a content creator or not. It just so happens to happen a lot more to content creators or internet celebrities. Luckily, I'm not big enough to be an internet celebrity. Okay. But seriously, I just want to make sure. And to all of you females out there watching, I didn't mean anything by, oh, it only happens to female type thing. I was just trying to let people know that it can happen to anyone. Doesn't matter what gender you are, male, female, whatever. It can happen. It definitely can happen. And I want everyone to be aware of that. So, yeah, I'll be honest, I forgot what I was going to call this podcast already. But I think it's very important. Safety awareness. It's very important. It's a real thing. Definitely be safe, everyone. Now, if you... Okay, so here's the thing. Trust your instincts on stuff, okay? It's very important. Like, if you're, like, say, someone that, like, hey, you want to go see a movie, like it's someone you've never met before, and they say, hey, you want to go see a movie? Just meet me at such and such. I'll buy blah, blah, blah. If in your gut it doesn't feel right, just don't do it. Say no thank you. Don't do it, okay? A free movie is not worth. I mean, even if it is on the up and up, if you don't feel right about doing it, you don't need all that extra stress for one free movie. Now, if you're like, hey, Vamp, but I want to see the movie right now. I've never seen it before. This is my last, day on Earth, and I want to see the video. It's part of my bucket list thing. I have everything else done. Then by all means, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go see the movie. But I'm pretty sure that that's a rare, if not totally unlikely scenario that I just made up. But if you're that one person listening to this, that's actually the case, then you enjoy the movie, okay? You enjoy the movie. But seriously, just make sure to be aware. I don't know. I'm just making this video, not video. It's a podcast. A podcast. I know that it's normally a Warframe podcast, but I just, think that everyone needs to be aware, okay? Be prepared for anything. Yeah, I did that a lot, okay? But yeah, I'm going to call it a podcast episode. Like I said, this is a weird podcast episode. I just think it's very, very important. Safety, especially on the internet nowadays. You can never know. You never know who. Now, if it's a friend that recommended them, that's a bit different, They at least have some credibility, providing the friend that recommended them has credibility to begin with. But yeah, with that said, I'll catch you guys hopefully in the future podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. Hopefully it helps you be safe. And yeah, later.